FEI Icons is a 6-part series looking back at the careers of some of the most successful and influential equestrian athletes of the 21st century. In this episode, we are focusing on the most decorated dressage rider in the history of equestrian sport, Isabell Werth. In a career that has spanned over 30 years, Werth has amassed over 50 major medals, 40 of which have been gold. We take a look back at some of those career-defining moments from the lady often referred to as the Queen of Dressage. When they arrived in Den Haag, the Netherlands for the 1994 FEI World Equestrian Games, Isabell and her chestnut gelding Gigolo FRH were already Olympic team champions and individual silver medalists, as well as World Cup and European champions. The German team would reign supreme again, winning gold, and then Isabell would go on to have more success in the individual competition.
Isabell, former Volvo World Cup champion, and freestyle dressage to music, but also on the classical side, an Olympic Games team gold medalist and individual silver medalist in Barcelona. Tremendous shape this horse Gigolo makes. Well, that was the gold medal test. The new world champion of classical dressage, Germany's Isabell Werth, and the Hanoverian Gigolo.
Following their achievements at the FEI World Equestrian Games, Werth and Gigolo cemented their place in history at the 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta, winning gold in the team and individual competitions. In a period of dominance for Isabell and Gigolo, the pair went on to win more gold medals at the 1998 FEI World Equestrian Games in Rome. This time round, it was in the freestyle and team competitions where they topped the podium. The 2000s would be a time of change for Isabell. Gigolo was retired after the Sydney Olympics, winning team gold and an individual silver, a fitting end to the most decorated dressage horse in the history of the sport. In the early years of the new millennium, more team gold medals followed, but individual titles were hard to come by. It wasn't until 2006 at the FEI World Equestrian Games in Aachen that Werth showed she was once again a force to be reckoned with. Originally due to compete with Warum Nicht FRH, an injury just a few days before meant Isabell had to switch to her 12-year-old gelding Satchmo 78. Despite the late change, Isabell and Satchmo still picked up gold medals in the team competition and in the Grand Prix Special, with a bronze coming in the freestyle. In the decade that followed, Isabell would take her second FEI World Cup title in Las Vegas and pick up a gold and 2 silvers at the 2007 European Championships. At the 2008 Olympic Games, Isabell picked up her 4th Olympic team gold medal and an individual silver. In 2013, she was part of the all-female team who won gold at the Europeans in Herning, with that same quartet going on to achieve the same result at the 2014 FEI World Equestrian Games in Normandy. At the 2016 Rio Olympics, Isabell equalled Rainer Klimke's record of 6 Olympic gold medals after claiming gold in the team competition. She also went on to win silver in the individual competition to become the most medalled Olympic equestrian athlete in history, eclipsing the record of 9 set by her longtime rival, Ankie van Grunsven. In recent years, Isabell Werth has shown why she is the ultimate horsewoman, producing 3 world-class horses in Bella Rose, Emilio and Weihegold. 2017 would be a defining year for Werth and Weihegold, as the pair would prove unbeatable at the 2017 FEI World Cup Finals in Omaha, Nebraska.
Isabell Werth and Weihegold, a combination that have scored over 90% in freestyle, including in January at Amsterdam. Isabell won the Western European League, taking 5 qualifier wins on 3 different horses. And she is now, after Rio, the most successful Olympic equestrian of all time.
So light-footed to this passage in Piaf, and flawless transitions.
Look already at the technical score.
Very well executed Piaf pirouette. And again, we see these flawless transitions in and out of passage to Piaf, back to passage again. And then into a trot half pass.
You might have thought that there was a slight fault with the difficulty score, but actually she doesn't have a lot of degree of difficulty upticks in the first 7 or 8 movements, but now they start crowding in.
That's correct. Wow, 19 1-tempies.
This is a beautiful horse, but Isabell has a great reputation for actually turning not great young horses into super beautiful performers at the Grand Prix level later in their lives.
I think she may have done this. Might be too early to tell still, but
You know, if that difficulty score is indicative of the way the whole artistic 50% is going to go.
so active and rhythmic in this Piaf.
This is the horse that with Isabell won Lyon, Stuttgart and Amsterdam this World Cup season, including Amsterdam on over 90%. Have they now won Omaha and her third finals? She thinks so.
This magnificent test from Isabell was the first time she had broken 90% in a finals freestyle, comfortably seeing off her nearest rivals, Laura Graves and Carl Hester.
Today it was really, really brilliant. It was really my goal and my challenge to bring the best test of the season here in the final, and it worked today, and I'm really happy and thankful for Weihe. For me it was clear I have to go the risk and I have to take all what I can do, and it worked, yes. And Weihe was so focused on things she knew. Today it's her day.
Later that year in Gothenburg, the duo would go on to win 3 gold medals at the FEI European Championships, with Isabell beating out compatriot and fellow team member Sonka Rothenberger in both the special and freestyle competitions.
Her freestyle at Aachen this summer was 89%. Today, she needs to do everything. But no one better. Isabell Werth, the world #1, and Weihegold, most successful Olympic equestrian of all time. Riding this horse since January 2016, she won her third FEI World Cup Dressage finals this spring in Omaha. As I say, scoring over 90% in the freestyle with this horse. She's won 6 Olympic golds, including the individual title, 7 world golds, including 3 individual titles, and 7 European golds, including 4 individual titles. Before this week, she's now won 9 individual golds and 5 individual titles, with the special last night. She's done it by 1/3%. Isabell Werth is champion of Europe. 90.982 for Isabell Werth to take the gold here.
At the 2017 FEI Awards Gala in Montevideo, Uruguay, Isabell was awarded the FEI Best Athlete Award for her achievements that year.
The 2017 was just amazing. It was really great year. It was all horses. I have to say, it was sometimes you don't know what you do and it works, and sometimes you don't know what you make wrong and it doesn't work. But this year it was really a fantastic year, and of course the highlights with Omaha, with the World Cup final, with Weihegold. It was a fantastic freestyle. I was happy to win, and it was the champagne came to the right time, and I think that was just emotions and fun. I said after Aachen it will be really difficult to keep this shape from Weihe to Gothenburg, but I really have to say never she was better than in Gothenburg. All 3 competitions were really concentrated, focused, with a lot of highlights, especially with a highlight with the Piaf Passage. And it was nearly perfect, so at the end it was a super finish for the Europeans and for the outer season, so we'll see what happens now.
Join us after the break as we continue to look back at some of Isabell's greatest moments. Welcome back to FEI Icons, a 6-part series that looks back at the careers of some of the most successful and influential equestrian athletes of the 21st century. In 2018, Isabell and Weihegold were in Paris to defend their World Cup crown. Once again, their main rivals were the USA's Laura Graves and her Olympic Mount Verdades. Isabell had finished over 5% in front the previous year, but this time round, Graves produced a magnificent test, scoring just over 89%, meaning Isabell would need a near personal best to beat her.
A win here today would be this amazing lady's 24th major title. Her 4th World Cup finals win. And she is, with this horse, the world #1 ranked combination in the sport and the defending FEI World Cup Dressage champion. So the degree of difficulty there, that is the current total. Of course that will ramp up. The repetitions, the modifiers come later in the program. The important one to watch is that technical score, because if that is at 87 or so % by the time she's finished, well, this is game over, because the artistic will safely carry her in front of Laura Graves.
Lovely changes. Big smile on Isabell's face. Lovely bounce in that piaffe. Slightly irregular coming out. Just lost the balance a tiny bit.
How brave is she going to be on this final centre line as well? We've seen her ride it before. One-handed.
She's got to go for it, hasn't she?
She's nothing to lose and everything to gain because the score is going to be good enough, certainly for second place, but she needs now to push it over the top. Isabell Werth and Weihegold. We are looking at the 2018 FEI World Cup champion, a 24th major title for Isabell Werth, her 4th World Cup title.
Today she was fantastic. It was one of her best freestyles, maybe it was her best. This is what we really love to see, and what I love to do is to compete against the best ones and to have a close and tough battle. This is for all of us, I think, the right way to present our sport and to present our special sport with a horse, with an animal.
In September 2018, the FEI World Equestrian Games in Tryon got underway. It was no surprise that Isabell and the German team retained the title they had won 4 years earlier in Normandy. Sonka Rothenberger and Cosmo, a horse he had brought up through the young rider circuit, had helped put Germany into a commanding position.
So although very expressive with her front legs in the extended trot, she could come more from behind in them.
Of course, our running score box is crucial to you at the moment, comparing against her teammate Sonka Rothenberger.
One of the highlights of Isabell and all of her horses, the trot half passes. Very expressive, supple and fluid. Another highlight with this horse, the piaffe, classic piaffe. Nearly in place. Very active, good transitions in and out. A 9.6 for that piaffe. Looks like it's going to be a personal best.
An incredibly emotional moment for Isabell Werth. Her superstar horse, Bella Rose, had been in rehabilitation for the last 4 years after a persistent soundness issue, and had only returned to competition 3 months prior to the Games. This test was proof that they were well and truly back. The 2019 FEI Dressage World Cup final came from Gothenburg, Sweden. Werth was looking to become only the second athlete in history to win 3 consecutive finals after Ankie van Grunsven.
This lady has won more medals than anybody I know. I think she's the highest medalist in the equestrian world. Isabell Werth, Weihegold for Germany. She's won now team gold in Barcelona Olympics, Atlanta Olympics, individual gold in Atlanta at the same time in '96. Sydney 2000s, team gold there, team gold again in Beijing, and team gold again in Rio de Janeiro. Multi-medalist at World Championships, more golds than I wish to mention, as to the European Championship medals as well.
Degree of difficulty now gone up to 90. Can she pull it back on the final centre line?
Because she doesn't have a joker line or anything now to save her.
But she is the queen of the Piaf. She's got a smile on her face.
Oh, it's gone up. It's gone up. 88, 88.8. Another seamless, faultless test.
It was 27 years prior to this, in the very same city, that Isabell took her first World Cup title, showing the remarkable longevity and success she has achieved in her career.
It was one of the top. It was today. I was really as close to get to have the perfect ride, the perfect freestyle. I was so happy, and she was. I think today she was perfect in the Piaf Passage and the extensions, pirouettes, and yeah, just one mistake of mine, but she deserves 90%.
In the summer of 2019, Rotterdam was the location for the FEI European Championships. In an event dominated by the German contingent, Isabell remained at the top of the pack. Following on from gold in the team and individual competitions, Isabell and Bella Rose recorded their personal bests in the freestyle with this outstanding test.
But just looking at this lady's record, she's the world #1 at the moment with this horse, Bella Rose. She has 3 horses inside the world's top 10 on the rankings, 6 Olympic golds, and her European record, 11 European team golds, including this week, 8 individual European titles, including the special 2 days ago here in Rotterdam.
Isabell is going to have to score a lot of 10s now, which she can, for sure, to come out on top.
At these championships, we had 3 riders who we thought could go over 90% in the freestyle. Sonke Rottenberger was one, didn't qualify through from the special. Charlotte Dujardin was maybe one, didn't qualify through from the Grand Prix. Isabell Werth has left it out here on the field of play. She's made errors, she can't do 90%, and can she even catch teammate Jess van Breda-Vendel? 10s across the board for that Piaf pirouette, mind you.
Was it enough?
Isabell Werth completes her test at the European Championships. She's done it! 90.875, Isabell Werth and Bella Rose.
In an utterly dominant period, Isabell remains unbeaten at major championships since 2017. And the future still looks bright, as she currently has 3 world-class horses to choose from. Whatever happens in the future though, the name Isabell Werth and her faithful companions will forever remain etched into the history of equestrian sport. Join us again soon when we will be reliving more memorable moments from some of the best equestrian athletes of the 21st century. From all of the team, it's goodbye for now.